Welcome, beautiful people, to reCULTUREview, where we review all things pop culture. Hear the latest in TV and film, music, and celebrity news, cause it's reCULTUREview. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a new episode of reCULTUREview. Like always, I'm your host, Mo Elise, and if you don't know what reCULTUREview is by now, it's in the name. We're just reviewing culture, pop culture that is. So the latest in TV and film, the latest in music, and the latest in celebrity news. So sit back, relax, and get ready to listen. And without further ado, let's get into it. It's reCULTUREview. All right, so first up, like always, we have TV and film. The first thing in TV and film, the Kardashians. We had Keeping Up with the Kardashians on E, but now they have moved to Hulu. And so that new show is premiering on April 14th, which is this coming Thursday. And honestly, I don't know the reasoning why they left E. Maybe it was something to do with money, or maybe they genuinely thought they were done and then Hulu gave them a good offer. But with all the things that's been happening with the Kardashians, between Kourtney getting engaged and married, and Khloe dealing with Tristan, Kim dealing with Kanye and Pete, I feel like it'll be an interesting show with interesting entertainment. So, hey, they can do them. They making money. Who am I to judge? Next up, I haven't talked about this show yet, but it has been out for a minute, and it's The Proud Family, which is the new Proud Family. As you know, Proud Family was on like in 2001, 2004. But now they have a new updated version on Disney Plus. So far, it's been 8 episodes. I've watched all of them, and it's really good. Of course, the animation is different. They're dealing with topics that relate to this society. For instance, a lot of people on social media were talking about how the character Michael is now more feminine. He's came out and all that stuff, which even in the old Proud Family, everybody knew Michael was gay. They just didn't push the barrier that far. But I feel like his character reflects society. Some people might not like it. Some people, say that it's influencing kids. But my thing is, kids are going to see it in society. Why not see it in television? And in my opinion, they're not pushing anything too far. They're just representing a group of people that exists in the world. So far, I like it. It's a new theme song as well. But the theme song, it grew on me. So if you're looking for something to watch, you should watch the new Proud Family. Next up in TV and film, we have the new Marvel miniseries Moon Knight, starring Oscar Isaac. It's on Disney Plus as well. I watched the trailer, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't really know exactly what it was about. It seems like it's something to do with Egyptian gods and something like that, but the action sequences that I saw on there were really good. Oscar Isaac, I feel like he's a really good actor, so I feel like you can't go wrong with watching that. Another movie that came out was Morbius, starring Jared Leto. It's, I think he's a Marvel character, but Sony did it. As you know, Sony had rights for Spider-Man. They did the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. However, this movie got 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. I haven't watched the movie, but I watched some reaction channels talk about it, and everyone's basically saying like it felt rushed. It was just a lot of things that were going wrong with the movie. But hey, if you still want to watch it, go see it. It's still in theaters. And with that concludes TV and film. It's reCULTUREview. So next up in the show, of course, is music. First things first, the song was making waves on TikTok. It's First Class by Jack Harlow. And everyone was talking about it on TikTok because he sampled Fergie's Glamorous featuring Ludacris. And, it was only the first part that was on TikTok. So, of course, only seeing the first part, I was kind of like, well, I don't really know how this is going to be. But after listening to the song over and over, it's really a good song. So he has a new album coming out. I can't wait for the album. I hope he continues doing good things with his music. Next up, we have Khloe. If you don't know Khloe, she's from Chloe and Halle. But, she's been making waves as a solo artist, first with Have Mercy. And now she's back with another single called Treat Me. And the cover art alone, she's on her grown woman stuff. I will say that. However, to me, the song, I feel like when you have a hit single, the second single is always going to fall flat, you know. To me, Treat Me, it's okay, but I don't know. I'm not going to say that I feel like it's not Chloe, because at the end of the day, I don't know Chloe personally. I don't know her, but like, and of course, I know her music is going to be different because than her music with her sister, because, you know, they collaborate and this is just her, so she can do what she wants, you know. But I just feel like it's a disconnect between her and the music. I feel like she's letting society dictate her music. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's just the vibes that I'm kind of picking up on. Next up, we have Camila Cabello. If you don't know her, she was in the group Fifth Harmony, but then she went solo. She had hits such as Havana with Young Thug. But she's back with a new album called Familia. It's family in Spanish. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I kind of skimmed through the album. I was, you know, just skimming through certain songs. And in my opinion, it's not like... I like some of Camila's music, more of her pop songs than anything, but I feel like this album was very personal to her. And sometimes when artists do very personal albums, sometimes it's hard for people to connect to unless you've been through that similar situation. You know, she's a Latina girl from Cuba. I'm a black girl from Mississippi. I feel like because she's going more personal, I can't really relate. But people have been giving good reviews on the album. I guess it's just not something that I'm into. Lastly, in music, we have London by Bia featuring J. Cole. Now, J. Cole went on Instagram. This is how I even found out about the song. And he was talking about how Bia played him this song like months ago, and how she came back months later and asked him to be on the track. And he was like, it's one of his favorite songs that he's heard in months. It's been his favorite song for months. So I was hyped to listen to it. And let me just say, it lived up to expectations. Bia has a song called Whole Lot of Money. It had featured Nicki Minaj too. So that was her first big hit. But I really like this song better than Whole Lot of Money. It just got a different feel to it. And I really like it. So with that concludes music. All right, our next segment is always in celebrity news. This is where we talk about the latest and what celebrities are doing. And first up, kind of recent, yesterday, well, as of recording this, I'm recording this on Sunday. So yesterday on the 9th, which was a Saturday, they had the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, which is not a big deal. I'm not a kid anymore. But what did stick out to me was JoJo Siwa. She had made a TikTok, and she was like, a lot of people are asking me why I didn't go to the Kids' Choice Awards. And basically, she said she wasn't invited. Now, when she said this, a lot of people took to social media, and of course, they had their opinions on why she wasn't invited. One opinion was, of course, you know, she came out. So people were thinking it was because of sexuality and because it was a kids show, you know, they was doing all this. Other people said that it was because her and Nickelodeon were currently beefing because they wouldn't let her perform her songs that Nickelodeon owns on her tour. And then, you know, other people were just saying random things. And honestly, I feel watching her TikTok, she did feel kind of hurt. And I feel like regardless of her sexuality, JoJo Siwa, at the end of the day, when I think of JoJo Siwa, I think of her as a kids entertainer. Kids love her. It's very evident. She still has a bunch of kids at her shows. So for them not to invite her to a award show, I think is very bogus of Nickelodeon. So hopefully they get that squared away. Hopefully she doesn't feel too down about not getting the invite. And hopefully next year she's there. Next up on celebrity news, the rapper T.I. I saw in the Shade Room that he got booed on stage in New York. And when I saw the headline, I was like, why would T.I. get booed? Why would someone go to a T.I. concert just to boo him? Like, you pay money to see him. Why are you booing him? You know, even if he wasn't performing his best still. But it wasn't even because T.I. was performing. The man was up there doing stand-up comedy. And I really don't feel bad for him because it's a time and a place for everything. People paid to hear you do your music. They didn't pay to hear you do stand-up comedy, even if you were funny, which I'm guessing he wasn't because they were booing him. But today, of course, this is Sunday, like I said. Today, he was on Instagram. He was talking about he wasn't going to let this stop him. And, you know, he was going to keep moving forward with his comedy. And I feel like, you know, everybody has passions or whatever. But like I said, it's a time and a place. You need to go to comedy clubs to do that. You don't need to book yourself as an artist like you rapping and then come out and do comedy. Nobody wants to hear that right then and there. So that's enough of that. Next up on celebrity news, we have Ben Affleck and J-Lo got engaged again. As you know, they reconciled last year, and so Ben popped the question again. So I'm not gonna say too much about it. I just, J-Lo has been in a lot of relationships, not bashing her or anything, but when I was looking at her relationship history, I felt like her and Ben, besides her and Mark Anthony, and I think only because they have kids together, but her and Ben seem very compatible. I'm sure they've grown as people since the last time they were together. So I really hope that they have a prosperous engagement and marriage and that they do last. The last thing is celebrity news. Not really celebrity news, but I just had to add it. Of course, Judge Brown Jackson finally got her confirmation into the U.S. Supreme Court, which she will become the first Black woman on the Supreme Court, which I find is very historic. It's very potent in this time and age. Whether you want to be a lawyer or a judge, you can still, support her. I support her, especially as a Black woman, Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't agree with all of the things that she has done, but I feel like, that could be anybody, But as far as her emotional well-being and her mental well-being, I do wish her the best, and I'm behind her 100% because I know how taxing getting grilled by white men were over and over again. I know how that was a lot for her. So I'm glad that she's over that hurdle. I'm glad that she is able to live in this moment and all that she is as a Black woman, all that she is as a judge. So with that concludes celebrity news. It's reCULTUREview. All right, so during this show, we have went over TV and film, we went over music, and we have went over celebrity news. And last but not least, our last segment, as I do every show, we have the top pick. Now, if this is your first time watching or you forgot, top pick is where I pick a moment in pop culture since the last episode that I find very fascinating. And of course, it wouldn't be right if I didn't pick this as my top pick. Of course, it's Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars. Now, let me just go through the whole story real quick. So, me and my sister, we actually did watch the Oscars. We watch a lot of award shows. But I'm going to be honest, the Oscars started getting boring to me. I didn't feel like hearing acceptance speeches, and it was the same people winning over and over again. So, I turned it off. 30 minutes later, I get on Twitter, and I see people talking about, ain't no way Will Smith just did that. And I'm like, what the world? So, of course, I found the video. I found the unedited version that aired on Australia without the beeps or whatever. And so I'm watching this, and I was like, there's no way this is fake. Like, of course, award shows, they push the envelope trying to get people entertained, keep people entertained. So, of course, people were saying it was fake. And I'm just watching this. I'm like, y'all, there's no way that this is fake. Number one, the way Chris was laughing and backing up, he didn't think anything of it. And then when Will slapped him, it was open-handed. It looked like he was going to punch him, and then at the last minute, he slapped him. And then it looked like in the middle of the slap, he regretted it. Like, he kind of didn't put all his all into it. But then what really sealed it for me, knowing that it wasn't fake, was the way that Chris Rock afterwards, like, he was genuinely shocked. Like, he couldn't believe it. He started stumbling. He was trying to, start back with the presentation or whatever. And then, of course, Will cussing him out in the crowd. I was like, there's no way. Now, of course, millions and millions of people have put their 2 cents into this. And all I'm going to say is, number one, it was not the time and place for that. I understand the reason that Will did it. I do. You're defending your wife, which is, if I'm, hurt and my husband isn't defending me, I would feel a type of way. But at the same time, we're at the Oscars. Like, to me, it's not that serious, If after the show you want to go up to him and be like, hey, man, that wasn't cool, do that. But during the Oscars, no. The joke that Chris Rock made, was it insensitive? Yes. Do I really think he knew that Jada had alopecia? I don't think he did, because I didn't know, I hope this teaches him a lesson to be more sensitive when he tells jokes, I think of a more clever way to tell a joke or whatever. I don't know. But like I said, Will, it wasn't the time or the place. So Will Smith, he got his punishment. He's been banned 10 years from the Oscars. And yesterday on Saturday, I feel like SNL made a great joke. They were like, I feel like this really isn't a punishment. You mean to tell me he doesn't have to go to a 4-hour long award show for 10 years? I feel like that's great. I wouldn't want to do that either. And then they were like, a better punishment would probably be him hosting the show, which I found was really funny. And on Chris Rock's side, Chris Rock said he's not talking till he gets paid, which I understand because, everybody wants to know how you feel. So you're going to pay me some money to hear me talk. So you know what? That's all I got to say about that. I hope this dies down eventually because I'm sick of going on Facebook and that's all I'm seeing, especially people who make up their own story about why it happened, what happened. They bashing Jada, bashing Will. It's just too much for me. So anyway, that concludes this week's top pick, which in turn concludes the show. So thank you so much for listening and tuning in. As always, I'm Mo Elise. Peace. It's